for the invocation prayer. Shahana bhavatu, Shahano hunaktu, Shahu birjam karuvavahai, Tejasvinavadhi tamostu, Ma vidvishavahai, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, the invocation song will be performed by Ms. Ritika Sharkar, Rabindra Bharati University. I am requesting Ms. Ritika Sharkar to perform and to share the song with us. Ms. Ritika Sharkar, are you here?
আমি শুরু করছি।
Okay, I think she is not here now. We will get her later.
শুনতে পাচ্ছো?
Now we will start the technical session 1. And in technical session 1, first.
এই সৌমিত্রী, আমি তো প্রেয়ারটা করছিলাম, শুনতে পাচ্ছ না? সৌমিত্রী?
Sir, am I audible to you?
Yes, you are audible to me, but I have presented Ritika Sharkar's program. Is it not visible?
Sir, Ritika Sharkar's program is not has not presented to us.
আমি তো স্ক্রিন শেয়ার করছি।
I'm requesting you, sir, please repeat the presentation.
Okay. I'm sharing the screen, and there you will find the presentation. Is it visible to all of you?
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Visible.
So starting the song of Ritika Sharkar.
But I think Ravindra Sangit, I mean, sound is not audible. Sound is not audible.
শোনা গেল সবার কাছে? সবিতে শুনতে
না
পেয়েছো?
স্যার।
এই যে এতক্ষণ ধরে গানটা হলো শুনতে পাওনি তোমরা?
No, sir. Sound was not audible.
ও তো স্ক্রিন শেয়ার করছি, ওর মধ্যে তো গানটা দেওয়া আছে।
An information comes to me aware, and the whole process is called loosely as consciousness. Now, can we be conscious always, everywhere, about everything simultaneously? For example, I give you one example. In these days, of course, in the corona time, we are not flying in buses, but normally we move in buses, and at least I have the experiences of losing my purse in the bus. For example, somebody has picked up your purse in the bus, and you recognized him this thing only at the time of purchasing something later in the market. That means you were not conscious about your purse when you were in the bus. But in the bus, you were conscious about the bus stop, because otherwise you could not have got down in the right bus stop, your desired bus stop. So here I wanted to say that you are conscious, you can be conscious, but at every time, at everywhere, or always you cannot be conscious simultaneously. With this brief introduction on consciousness, what I mean in this discussion, let me identify the focus of the dialogue between the physicist and the poet. It was a clarification of whether truth is independent of human consciousness or not. The basic question that has been addressed seems to be like this: can we imagine that the one day humankind is extinct and the universe with all the unifying principles and laws are still existing? A brief introduction of the physicist. I will not go into the details because today's discussion will focus upon consciousness. Albert Einstein, only to show that what is the time span, what is the overlapping period between these two genius people. 1879, he was born in Germany and died in 1955. Later on, he was educated in Switzerland and then again moved to Germany, and ultimately his later life was spent in USA. This is our very beloved poet Tagore. He was born in Kolkata, Jorasako Thakurbari, India. 1861 he was born, and we lost him in 1941. Some of the similarities between the physicist and the poet. Both of them were not comfortable with formal school education. Both Einstein and Tagore were recipients of Nobel Prize. Einstein obtained Nobel Prize in Physics in 1921. Tagore received the same in literature in 1913. Both lived almost in the contemporary restless world witnessing two world wars, human greed and human value, human love, both were keen advocates of peace. The dialogue. The dialogue between the two geniuses was held on July 14, 1930. It was in Einstein's house on the outskirts of Berlin. Einstein invited the poet. Now the dialogue starts. I will present the total dialogue, but for saving time, I will read out only the relevant. As you know, when we discuss casually, there may be some repetitions. So I try to ignore those repetitions. And if doing so, if something important is missed, the responsibility is mine. Einstein started the question, do you believe in the divine as isolated from the world? Later in the discussion, you will find this divine, by this divine, he did not mean anything like God or religion or like that. By divine, he meant the ultimate truth. Tagore replied, not isolated. The infinite personality of man comprehends the universe. There cannot be anything that cannot be subsumed by the human personality. And this proves that truth of the universe is human truth. Einstein replied, there are two different conceptions about the nature of the universe. The world as a unity depends on the humanity, and number two, the world as a reality independent of human factors. In the consequent discussion, we will be clearer about this. The same thing, it is rotating around this concept that this there in this there is a chair in the room because a human being is there to see that the chair is in the room. But the other concept is that there is a chair in the room, I cannot say, because there is nobody to see whether the chair is in the room or not. Tagore said, when our universe is in harmony with the man, the eternal, we know it as truth, we feel is as beauty. See, Tagore always gives importance of man with the realization of truth and beauty. You will remember the other way, I will not go the details, the important line, truth is beauty and beauty is truth. Einstein, this is purely human conception of the universe. Tagore boldly said, there can be no other conception. This world is a human world. The scientific view of it is also that of the scientific man. In this context, maybe everybody is aware of that, but I still repeat, Tagore used to study scientific literature very regularly. I do not know how many of us are studying Scientific America, every issue of Scientific American, Tagore was a regular reader. The first book on complete science in Bengali was written by Tagore, Vishwa Porichoy, and that was dedicated to Satyendranath Bose. He said, "You are the right person. There is no other person whom I can dedicate this book." Oh. This world is a human world. The scientific view of it is also that of the scientific man. There is some standard of reason and enjoyment which gives its truth, the standard of eternal man, whose experiences are through our experiences. Einstein, this is a realization of the human entity. Einstein again repeated, you can identify that he is insisting upon, he's searching upon a truth that is irrespective of human entity. Tagore said, yes, one eternal entity. We have to realize it through our emotions and activities. We realized the supreme man who has no individual limitations through our limitations. Science is concerned with that which is not confined to individuals. It is the impersonal human world of truth. Here also, Tagore insisted that, yes, science is going for truth that is not confined to individual. That does not mean human being is not there. The eternal human understanding, human reactions are present inherently in that truth. Einstein then said, truth then, or beauty, is not independent of man. In one word, Tagore said, no. Einstein said, if there would be no human beings anymore, Apollo of Belvedere would no longer be beautiful. Tagore said, no. Einstein, he wanted to survive. Still, I agree with regard to this conception of beauty, but not with regard to truth. Tagore said, why not? Truth is realized through man. Einstein, I cannot prove that my conception is right. By that is my religion. By religion, possibly he wanted to mean that that is my faith. Tagore, beauty is in the ideal of perfect harmony, which is in the universal being. Truth, the perfect comprehension of the universal mind. We individuals approach it through our own mistakes and blunders, through our accumulated experiences, through our illumined consciousness. How otherwise can we know truth? In this context, one poem comes to my mind. We individuals approach it through our own mistakes and blunders. He once called mothers. Punne pape, sukhe duke, patone utthane. How dearly he said, mother, your child be approaching truth through mistakes. Anyway, let us proceed. Einstein said many things. I will read out the blue portion. I cannot prove scientifically that truth must be conceived as a truth that is valid independent of humanity. But I believe it firmly. See, in the previously he said religiously, here he said, I believe. It is his faith. Tagore, truth, which is one with the universal being, must essentially be human. Otherwise, whatever we individuals realize as true can never be called truth. I remember another song. আমরা সবাই রাজা আমাদের এই রাজার রাজত্বে, নইলে মোরা রাজার সাথে মিলবো কি স্বার্থে। We are equally true with the ultimate truth. Otherwise, without the touch of me, the truth of yours is not a truth. Next, Einstein said, so according to your conception, which may be the Indian conception, it is not the illusion of the individual, but of humanity as a whole. Tagore said, the species also belongs to a unity to humanity. Therefore, entire human mind realizes truth. The Indian or the European mind meet in a common realization. He replied, this is human realization, not Indian way of thinking. Einstein said the word species is used in German for all human beings. As a matter of fact, even the apes and the frogs would belong to it. Tagore replied, in science, we go through the discipline of eliminating the personal limitations of our individual minds, and thus reach that comprehension of truth, which is the mind of the universal man. As I understand, my role is that as an individual mind, I have limitations, but the science starts with me. I myself go beyond my personal limitations. We go beyond our limitations, and we gradually become universal. It is not that we are not there and the eternal truth is there. Einstein says, even if our everyday life, we feel compelled to ascribe a reality independent of man to the objects we use. We do this to connect the experiences of our senses in a reasonable way. For example, if nobody is in this house, yet that table remains where it is. Tagore said, yes, it remains outside the individual mind. the individual who is not in the house, but not the universal mind. The table which I perceive is perceptible by the same kind of consciousness which I possess. Einstein, this is a lengthy thing he had said. I will read out the blue portion. If nobody would be in the house, the table would exist all the same. But this is already illegitimate from your point of view, because we cannot explain what it means that the table is there independently of us. Let us see what Tagore says. Tagore says, science has proved that the table as a solid object is an appearance, and therefore that which the human mind perceives as a table would not exist if the mind were not there. That means even in case of, if you want to see the table as a table, your mind has to perceive that one. Your mind means your brain, etc., should work. Otherwise, you cannot conceive the table. Ultimately, Einstein said, then I am more religious than you are. That means I depend upon faith than you are. Tagore said, my religion is the reconciliation of the super-personal man, the universal human spirit, in my own internal being. Tagore said, I also believe, but my faith is reconciliation of myself with the super-personal man. In this way, the dialogue ended. Now, here starts the presenter's observation, what I feel. Again, a disclaimer. Sorry for this. These are the opinions of the speaker and prone to subjectivity. However, this can be used as data obtained from a person with the background of the speaker. Again, I tell you one thing about the dialogue between these two geniuses. I don't think whether I could explain every bit of that dialogue. My feeling is that it is impossible. Once Vivekananda said, I like to repeat everywhere. If you want to understand Vivekananda, then you must have another Vivekananda. Because the mind of Tagore, what he wanted to say, the mind of Einstein, what he wanted to say, it is not possible to understand exactly. Anybody who tries to understand their dialogue is bound to color them with the observer's color. Even Einstein, it happened that after the atom bomb crushed Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Einstein started vigorously to stop any further nuclear war. So he wanted to raise money and he tried to auction his handwritten copy of General Theory of Relativity and other works. But when he wanted to do that, like other artists, after the publication he saw that all the manuscripts he has thrown out. So what did he do? He took the help of a younger one. He dictated from the paper and asked him, he asked the younger one to read out. And Einstein made the manuscript again in his own handwriting. And ultimately that was auctioned. But what I wanted to say, at the time of rewriting, he exclaimed, "Did I write this thing? Is it me? Okay, this should be rewritten like this." Every person in this way changes throughout his or her life. So regarding the dialogue between the poet and the physicist, I would request everyone, especially the younger ones, who are going to create the new world, they are to read in detail of their own and make their own understanding. My words should be just a motivation for reading that one again and again. Now, my personal observations. Basic content of the debate, as I understood, Einstein placed his faith upon the existence of reality and corresponding truth, irrespective of human consciousness. Whether human consciousness be there or not, the truth and reality would be there. Human consciousness is there to realize that ultimate truth. Tagore, on the other hand, insisted that reality and corresponding truth without the presence of human consciousness is a meaningless proposition. In this context, I may comment that Tagore is from the Indian tradition of sages, where ultimate knowing means being, to be, to becoming. Brahmavid Brahmaiva bhavati. You cannot know Brahman, because when you know Brahman, you have yourself become Brahman. Anyway, from this point of view, it appears that Tagore was more correct in the sense that existence of truth, irrespective of human consciousness, is a meaningless proposition. Sorry. It should be repeated that the viewpoint of Einstein cannot be taken to be wrong. Only thing is that has to be understood in a wider perspective. The absence of human being can be thought to be the dissolving of human being in existence. That truth remains to be independent of human consciousness, but that truth cannot be expressed through language. I take help of this model. This model is widely used in Indian literature of philosophy. this is called, the space within is called Ghatakash, the sky within the pot. There is the space outside. Now, if you break this pot off, or if you can imagine that this pot dissolves in the environment, then the space within and the space outside, they become unified. If you say, so long you say that this space will remain, during that time, the space, whatever be there, that should be dependent upon this space. This space, the limitation of this space defines the eternity of the space without this space. So Einstein, whenever he said there is truth without this space, he would be correct if he says that this space will be dissolved into that eternal space. But if he says that this space will be just out, and still we can imagine a space that is independent of this space, that is not possible. Because as soon as you imagine the space of this one, the space without this is already defined, and that becomes dependent upon this space. I repeat, I quote from the dialogue from with Einstein, Tagore. What said? Here I quote. According to Indian philosophy, there is Brahman, the absolute truth, which cannot be conceived by the isolation of the individual mind or described by words, but can only be realized by completely merging the individual in its infinity. This thing is very important for Tagore. Tagore is not against infinite existence, but that infinite existence depends upon the individual, depends upon the dissolving of the individual in the infinity. Amay noile tribhubaneshwar, tomar prem hoto je miche. But such a truth cannot belong to science. The nature of truth which we are discussing is an appearance. That is to say, what appears to be true to the human mind and therefore is human and may be called Maya or illusion. For the younger ones, I want to say that take carefully this word Maya or illusion. Swami Vivekananda in his Raj Yoga, he repeatedly stated Maya or illusion is not what we mean in our daily life. It is not untrue, but it is not the ultimate truth. One thing, sorry, I wanted to comment about science. What is science? This is a very debatable question. This started with the seminal work of Karl Popper. He said about method of science, later on Kahn, he elaborated it, and people are going and going, but science started much more before that. And the concept of science is also growing. So what such a truth cannot belong to science, it may change one day. This is my personal feeling, that science may evolve in such a way that one day it may be possible to utter, we may get the words from someone again that arose from the soil. Srinantu Vishyamritasya Putra. Somebody may from science may call again that I have discovered that truth again. Anyway, let us proceed. Einstein dealt with beautiful equations which were generated from the radiations of data incident from outside on the mirror of human consciousness. You will remember Einstein wanted to see the relative motions of different objects. People before him tried to explain with the conception of ether. He developed the theory. Here, this is not the place to talk about those. But the data were coming from outside, from the outer world. And his inner, those were synthesized and expressed in the form of beautiful equations. Pagod dealt with lyrics that generated radiation from the radiations of feelings from the human consciousness, falling upon the outside world. He declared, Amari chetonar ronge panna holo sobuj. My feelings that came out, that fell upon the trees, the pearls, and they became beautiful. Both of them created beauty into different ways. I will move to a slightly different context, that how duality, in this type of duality, which I have pointed out so far, can occur in our day-to-day life. For example, most of us have gone to some places where distant trees are also visible and near trees are also visible. If you can remember, if you focus upon the distant trees, you lose the details of the near trees. And if you focus upon the near trees, you lose the details of the distant trees. These are more vividly observable if someone is having a good SLR camera. With the help of camera, you can focus different objects. When you focus distant trees, a bird sitting on the tree, with the help of that camera, you will get a good picture. But if some leaves or some trees, anybody is there near side, in the photograph, you will see all those are blurred. And when you focus on the near side to your near and dear one, all the distant details, they will be out of focus. It can be shown mathematically that there is a particular distance for a particular setup, particular camera, that means particular lens, particular aperture, etc. If you focus on that point, then all the bodies from distant to near, they are moderately focused, everything. That type of camera is called hot shot camera. Just aim and shoot. You don't have to adjust anything. These three types of consciousnesses occur in our daily life also. Some of us are very concerned about our day-to-day life, near and dear ones, profit and loss, and etc. Some of us, like Einstein, like Tagore, they are so, what should I say, they are so dissolved, so involved in distantly thinking way, in eternally thinking way, that the near objects, near happenings, those come out of their comprehension. Einstein, in his young days, he commented, see, everybody said that Einstein was aloof from his near and dear ones. He was so humanly, but he is aloof from his near and dear ones. You will see most of the genius persons, they are a bit aloof from the near and dear ones. Anyway, so he said that life is flowing so sweetly, so eternally. I am so dissolved in that the near happenings of my family, of my surrounding, they do not leave any mark on me. But there are persons, you can be in a position, you can also be with, you can read, you can think of mystic things, you can think of eternity, and at the same time you can become concerned with your day-to-day life. These are the variations, but the question is, can you be conscious of far and near simultaneously? That is the question. No. Your consciousness oscillates. Even a person who is concerned about near and dear ones, they become philosophical, especially at the moments of severe losses, severe successes, severe happenings. But at the same time, they cannot be conscious about near and far simultaneously. Now, if you want to, now can you be in this position where all the consciousnesses in and out that can be perceived in a single state of mind? For example, is it possible that the last debate between Tagore and Einstein, that is dissolved. We got the hint from Tagore himself. I pointed out previously also, it is when that Ghatakash, that space of the pot dissolves into the total sky, total space, that is. Now, a question may be asked, especially the younger ones. Is it not imaginative that this state, you say, that it cannot be expressed in language, expressed in words? Can such things occur in your daily life? Yes, those are. Yes, anybody, had it been my class, I would have asked you what a point is. The answer somebody will give me. In the geometry book, it is written, a point is something which has no length, no breadth, no height, that is no dimension. Now, if I ask somebody to draw a point on the blackboard, on a paper, who on earth can be able to draw a point? Nobody will be able. Whatever something small one you give a drop, that will have a dimension. So you cannot achieve the point, but the conception of point is a very fundamental to our existence. A point is not there, a straight line is not there, a straight line is not there, area is not there, area is not there, volume is not there, nothing is there. We must perceive a point, but if we want to be at the state of a point, that realization of point, you will have to go to a state of mind. And the Indian heritage claims that it is possible to go to that state of mind, but that state of mind, they claim, cannot be preceded with a word jonno, because. Thank you, everybody. I have a feeling that I have made you clear about some concepts. No, I could not. Rather, I have confused you, but I do not repent. If you are confused, but if you are interested in this confusion, I am successful, because you are, as soon as you come down to the scenario, as soon as you have a bath in this confusion, you will realize that there is no confusion in its understanding, having a pleasure of it. It is the poetry of science. Someday it will be written. With this hope, I end here. Thank you, please. Over to Sir. Sir, I have completed.
Please you close the.
No, acha, please, sorry. Oh, stop here. Okay.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We are speechless, sir. We are basically speechless. Whatever the comments you have made, we are totally speechless. We do not know how to express my viewpoints. I think the audience is here. So first, I will request the audience, if you have any question, definitely, or any viewpoint, if you have, you can ask, and after that, I will say my own comment. Joyita?
Yes, sir.
Yes, what is your view about professor's vision, professor's idea?
It's a very good concept what we heard right now. A very fine corner you have captured, and sir has explained. Very common thing to us, and the rarest thing we ever think of is the common thing, the most common thing we say. So in our daily life, we every day come across all these things, but we always neglect, as because our conscious is out of the way to consciously think of about these perspectives, what we see every day and what we feel. So sir has enlightened us in a very nice way. In the next future line, we can think of like this, so that our consciousness can be enriched in this way, or can be enlightened in such a way. That what I can say.
Yes, thank you, Joyita. Nice observation. Any other observation? Madam Arthita Vishwas? Madam, are you here? No, madam is not here. Any younger students? Sir, I like your metaphor. That is this camera that is simultaneously focusing on the two areas. So that is a very nice example you have cited, sir. Now, when we are thinking of the Superman, so what will be the characteristics of Superman to you, sir? What is your experience about the Superman?
আচ্ছা, তার আগে স্যার বলছি কি, অর্পিতা পাল কেউ আছেন লিখেছেন, লাস্ট লাইনটা ক্লিয়ার হলো না। অর্পিতা পাল, অর্পিতা পাল না, নেই বোধহয় এখন। ঠিক আছে, আচ্ছা।
হ্যালো, হ্যাঁ স্যার।
হ্যাঁ, অর্পিতা পাল, হ্যাঁ বলুন।
যেটা বললেন না পয়েন্টটা নিয়ে, মানে ওটার কোনো ডাইমেনশন নেই, ওটার কোনো এরিয়া নেই, তো মানে একদম লাস্ট লাইন যেটা বললেন সেটা কনফিউজ হয়ে গেলাম। মানে পয়েন্টটা আমরা যখন দেখবো তখন মানে আমি ঠিক জায়গাটা বলতে পারছি না।
আসলে আপনি না এইভাবে দেখলে, আমিও যেভাবে প্রবলেমটাকে ফেস করেছিলাম, ছোটবেলায় তো জ্যামিতি পড়েছিলাম, এবারে যেহেতু আমি টিচার এডুকেশন কলেজের মানে অধ্যাপক, তা এখন বাচ্চাদেরকে পড়াতে গিয়ে পয়েন্টটা যখন পড়াতে শুরু করলাম, এবং তখন একটা আমাদের পেডাগজিতে ছিল ইন্ডাকটিভ মেথডে পড়ানো। হ্যাঁ, তা এখন সেই জায়গাটাতে পয়েন্ট পড়াতে গিয়ে আমি প্রথমেই অসুবিধাটা রিয়ালাইজ করি। তা এখন আমি যখন পয়েন্টটা, নর্মালি আমাদের টিচিং যেটা বলা হয়, যে কোনো একটা কথা বলার পরই সেটাকে কংক্রিটলি একটা এক্সাম্পল সাইট করতে হয়, বা বাচ্চাকে দিয়ে বলতে হয় তুমি এটা করে দেখাও। তা আমি যখন পয়েন্টটার ডেফিনেশনটা দিলাম, দেবার পরে ওকে যখন বললাম তুমি বোর্ডে আঁকো, একটা বাচ্চা যখন আঁকলো বোর্ডে, তখন আমার মাথায় ক্লিক করলো এটা তো পয়েন্ট হলো না, আমার ডেফিনেশনের সাথে মিশছে না। এবং তখন আমি প্রথম রিয়ালাইজ করলাম যে পয়েন্টের ডেফিনেশনটা কিন্তু যদি আগে বলি তাহলে কিন্তু ঠিক হচ্ছে না। এবং আপনি দেখবেন অনেকটা আমার তখন মনে পড়লো ভারতীয় যে মানে আমাদের দর্শনে রয়েছে যে আলটিমেট ট্রুথের প্রতি এই তিনি শব্দটা, তিনি শব্দটা ব্যবহার করা হয়। আমিও নয়, তুমিও নয়। আমি আর তুমি হচ্ছে যাদেরকে প্রত্যক্ষ দেখা যাচ্ছে, আমাকেও দেখতে পাচ্ছি, তোমাকেও দেখতে পাচ্ছি। তিনি, তার অবস্থানটা কিন্তু আমি জানতে পারছি, কিন্তু আমি শিওর তিনি আছেন, কিন্তু তিনি প্রত্যক্ষ কিন্তু সরাসরি নয়। এখন পয়েন্টটার সম্পর্কে আমার ধারণা হলো এটা জেস্চারে বোঝাতে হবে। তখন আমি যেটা করলাম, একটা ডাস্টার নিলাম, ডাস্টার নিয়ে বাচ্চাটাকে বললাম, আচ্ছা দেখো তো এই যে কোনো ডাস্টারে যে কোনো একটা তলের উপর হাত দিয়ে এটা কেমন লাগছে? বললে স্যার এটা একদম সমান, একদম, এটাকে আমি তল বলি। ঠিক আছে, এবারে আর একটা, স্যার এটাও সমান। দুটো দেখো এরকম তল কোথায় গিয়ে মিশলো? যে জায়গাটায় মিশলো সেই জায়গাটার নাম দাও সরল রেখা। এইরকম কতগুলো ডাস্টারটায় সরল রেখা আছে, সেই কোণাগুলো যে সরল রেখাগুলো আছে, এবারে সেগুলো যেখানে মিশলো সেই জায়গাটাকে বলা হচ্ছে বিন্দু। আমি জেস্টারে, এখানে কিন্তু আমি কোনো মিথ্যাচার করলাম না, মানে আমি যেটা বললাম তার সাথে বাচ্চাটা দেখলো, দুটো কিন্তু মিলে গেল। কিন্তু আমি যদি বলি যে পয়েন্ট হচ্ছে এমন একটা জিনিস যার দৈর্ঘ্য, প্রস্থ, উচ্চতা কিছুই নেই, এইবারে বাচ্চাটাকে তো দেখাতে হবে সেটা কোন জায়গা, কিন্তু সেটা তো আমি কোথাও দেখাতে পারবো না। দেখাতে পারবো কি? আমি দেখাতে পারবো না। কারণ কি, আমি যখনই আমি আঁকতে যাব, যা কিছু আঁকতে যাব, সেটা কিন্তু তার ডাইমেনশন চলে আসবে। ঠিক তুলনা করুন, মানুষ যখন এই বিশ্ব ব্রহ্মাণ্ডে তার উপস্থিতি দিয়ে সে বিশ্ব ব্রহ্মাণ্ড যখন ভাবছে, তার উপস্থিতি ইটসেলফ বিশ্ব ব্রহ্মাণ্ডকে কোয়ালিফাই করে ফেলছে। সে নিজেকে বাদ দিয়ে কখনো ভাবতে পারবে না। ঠিক তেমনি পয়েন্টের ক্ষেত্র, পয়েন্টটাকে যদি আমি আঁকতে যাই তাহলে তার ডাইমেনশনও চলে আসবে। কিন্তু আমি যদি বলি যে এই অবস্থানগুলো যে জায়গা থেকে যাকে পেলাম, সেই জায়গাটার দৈর্ঘ্য, প্রস্থ বা কি হতে পারে, তাহলে কিন্তু দেখবেন একটা মানে চেতনার জায়গাটাতে সেই কল্পনাটা করা সম্ভব যে তার দৈর্ঘ্য নেই, প্রস্থ নেই, উচ্চতা নেই। সম্ভবত যে মানে যিনি প্রথম বিন্দু সম্পর্কে ভেবেছিলেন, তিনি এইভাবেই ভেবেছিলেন। আমি কি বোঝাতে পারলাম কিছুটা?
হ্যাঁ স্যার, হ্যাঁ স্যার, থ্যাংক ইউ।
ঠিক এইভাবেই মানে আমাদের এই যে চেতন স্যার যে মানে খুব গুরুত্বপূর্ণ গবেষণাগুলো করছেন চেতনার জগতে, এর সাথে না পেডাগজির অনেকটা মিল দেখতে পাচ্ছি। অর্থাৎ পেডাগজিতে আমরা যে আধুনিকভাবে ভাবছি, আধুনিকভাবে বলাটাও ভুল, একটা সময় ভুলে গেছি যে আমরা এই কনসেপ্টে কিভাবে পৌঁছেছি। পরবর্তীকালে আমরা মেকানিক্যালি সেটাকে দিতে শুরু করেছি, তারপরে অরিজিনালটাই ভুলে গেছি। তার ফলে এখন যেটা দাঁড়িয়েছে সেটা একটা কাল্পনিক একটা জিনিস দাঁড়িয়েছে, আবার নতুন করে সেটা ডিসকভার করার প্রশ্ন আসছে। ঠিক আছে, তাহলে ছাড়ছি। স্যার যেটা বললেন আর কি, স্যার আচ্ছা পরম পুরুষ বলতে সে পুরনো কথাটাই আসবে আর কি, যে যেটা আপনি কি এইটা মিন করছেন যে আমাদের সবাইকে বাদ দিয়ে পরম পুরুষ সেইটা নাকি?
মানে এই যে আমরা আমাদের আবিন্দিক সাইকোথেরাপিতে একটা কনসেপ্ট আছে, সেটা হচ্ছে যে আমাদের যে কনসাসনেস, সেই কনসাসনেসের তিনটে লেয়ার আছে। The consciousness has 3 layers. The first layer is the murta, second layer is the raga, and third layer is the saraswat. So when individual reaches at the saraswat layer, at that time individual feels that is I am and my environment, my surroundings, everything is same. So that is the my feeling. But again, Tagore has said,
একবারে খাও এখন না।
তোমায় নতুন করে পাবো বলে হারাই ক্ষণে ক্ষণ. So what is the interesting point is that I may have reached at the Saraswat layer, but again, I am moving from the Saraswat layer
আমি দুটো কাজ
to the
একসাথে
other
করছি।
layers.
বিরক্ত করো না।
So this has happened. জয়িতা তোমার এই ইয়েটাকে সরিয়ে দাও।
হ্যাঁ স্যার
জয়িতা,
কি?
তুমি ভিডিওতে শেয়ার স্ক্রিন করে ফেলেছো।
ওকে
এটাকে অফ করো।
ওকে দাঁড়ান স্যার।
তোমার স্ক্রিন
করছি স্যার।
ওটা বন্ধ করে দাও। তো যেটা হচ্ছে সেটা হচ্ছে যে this is the consciousness. The consciousness has three layers. One is the Murto, another one is the Rago and the Saraswat. When we are talking about the Maya, I think the Maya that is basically the surrounded by the Saraswat layer. So when we are thinking of the Saraswat layer, possibly that is the stage where the individual can feel the eternality within himself. So this is my perception. Maybe your perception is different, but this is my perception. That is when me and you, there is no difference between you and me. When I can transform myself to the surroundings, then the surroundings and me are not different. So that is my feeling. That is, there will be no errors. But in case of the Rago layer, there will be the error. And this is my perception, I may be wrong. That is when we are thinking of the realistic approach, what Einstein has proposed, that may be related to the Murto layer and the Rago layer. But when the Tagore, he stated about the Superman and he stated about the beauty, he stated about the universal consciousness. Possibly, I am not sure, I am not the expert. Possibly, that is the Saraswat layer, where we do not find any errors. So, to me, so that is the stage. But again, the Tagore has said, তোমায় নতুন করে পাবো বলে হারাই ক্ষণে ক্ষণ। সুতরাং, sometimes during stay within the Saraswat layer, we may want some change because man prefers variety in nature. So that may be one of the reason. Again, the man moves to the Maya and again moves to the Murto layer. So when you are thinking of the focusing any picture simultaneously across the different angles, maybe that can be explained with this theory. This is my perception.
Actually, স্যার বলি একটু, স্যার আপনি দারুণ একটা পয়েন্ট যেটা বলা হয়নি সেটা আপনি ধরিয়ে দিয়েছেন। অ্যাকচুয়ালি whenever it is also we get from Indian literature that when one reaches that ultimate unification, no living being cannot stay there, but after reaching there, he enjoys that position. It is like that in my younger life, sir, I wrote one poetry like any other boy. That পরীক্ষায় একটা কোয়েশ্চেন কমন না পেয়েও বাড়ি ফিরে মা আছে, that kind of confidence. So it is something like that one man reaches to that state, that unification where no conflict is there, but that person does not stay there. In pleasure, she or he comes out, again plays something, gets so many conflicts, but this time has that confidence that I can go back to the ultimate, get refreshed. So like a boy who can go back to his mother in the evening and get refreshed. This is the ultimate situation. A human being in Saraswat layer, he enjoys the layer. And Tagore rightly said, and in the common Indian saying also, they say, chini hote chai na re mon chini khete bhalobasi. So Tagore tried to enjoy, and ultimately this philosophy was nicely demonstrated by our another very beloved poet, Kazi Nazrul Islam. খেলিছো এ বিশ্ব লয়ে বিরাট শিশু আনো মনে. Ultimately, the only reason Indian philosophy said it is he is unified and everything is happening because he likes playing. He is playing with himself. And that is, and for the younger ones, I will tell that, see, with this philosophy, your life will not be meaningless, because you will remember, as Vivekananda said, you will understand Gita in the playground better. In the playground, you play, you compete, you cry, you shout, but always you have a feeling that we are enjoying. At the end of the play, we just come to one another. We said, aha, ki khellam. This is the this is my feeling, sir.
In statistics, we are following the normal probability curve. In statistics, we are following the normal probability curve, and the normal probability curve assumes that the data is infinite in nature.
Yes.
Okay, so infinite in nature, that means our intention is to explore the truth. Here, truth means the ideal one, where the mean, median, and the mode will be the zero. So there will be no dispersion. There will be no variability. So that is the equation of the normal probability curve, basic assumption. And particularly in our institute, we have the logo, and that logo covers the Murto, Rag, and Saraswat. So these three layers are in our logo, and we are trying to make another equation, that is the truth equal to any response plus error. Sorry, any response minus error. Any response minus error. So any response equal to basically truth plus error. So error is there. Error in statistics, we are assuming error by using the variance, etc. So the error is important, and we have to study the errors also. Not necessarily we will disregard the error.
Yes.
For example, any statistical research, we are considering the importance of the outlier.
Yes,
Sometimes
yes.
the outliers can provide you a lot of information than the average individual. So we cannot disregard the outlier. The outlier may be considered as error, but outlier has some effect on the totality. So this is my perception.
Exactly.
And Now, is there any question or anything?
Sir,
I want to say something.
Oh,
Yes, madam, you are here. Thank you.
Yes, I am here. Actually, you couldn't hear me because there were some network issues. I was speaking actually. Now the network is clear.
Okay,
Oh,
Prathika.
Okay. Good afternoon, Dada. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
হ্যাঁ,
Yes.
ভীষণ ভালো লাগছে। আপনি তো ভাবছিলাম আপনি কখন আসবেন, তা নাহলে আমাদের এটা জমছে না।
না, আমি শুনছিলামই আমার নেটওয়ার্ক ইস্যুর জন্য ওটা বারবার করে মানে মিউটে চলে যাচ্ছিল।
আচ্ছা,
যদিও
আচ্ছা।
আমি আনমিউটেডই ছিলাম। আমি তো
আচ্ছা।
ভীষণ ভালো মতো মানে শুনলাম, and in search of consciousness, I am very much thankful to you for organizing such nice webinars, and thankful to Dada also because of his busy schedule. He has agreed to come and speak. And I always love listening to Dada, Pranavda. He knows very well. And Nitadi also. She is also very close to me. And I find, as Dada has agreed, we are in teachers training colleges and universities, right? So, and I learned a lot of things from the Pranav sir's deliberation. But at the same time, I find that it is very much close to our pedagogy. I mean, pedagogy is the science and art of teaching. So as Devdulal sir will basically interrelate or interdiscipline with the Raga, Murta and other layers, we the teacher educators or educationists, we will be interrelating it with pedagogy. So since pedagogy is the art and science of teaching, so I find a very new light also here. And there are certain unknown aspects. Since I am totally a arts background student, I didn't have any knowledge about certain aspects. So that was very new to me.
Sir is there. Sir will break this boundary between arts and science. Sir, another
very thankful to Devdulal sir. And I think that these boundaries already been broken by the new education policy.
Yes.
And so you are also taking it further. That you are taking it for the last 3-4 months, I guess, right from the time of pandemic. Devdulal sir is doing a lot about it, and the new education policy has paved the way for that also. So thank you, sir, and Dada, thank you so much. I learned something, a lot of new things, because life is it's basically a lifelong learning process.
আমি পালিয়ে যেতাম, বুঝলে দিদি পাহাড়া দিয়ে রয়েছে তাই।
So my question to Devdulal sir.
Yes.
Please. Yes, sir. What I wanted to say is, for a normal curve, if when we talk about statistics, in case of a normal curve, the mean, the median, and the mode, they are equal to each other for a basic case. So is it so that in case of psychology, the 3 layers, the Murto, Raga, and Saraswat,
yes, definitely.
Yes.
Are they going? The Saraswat layer is actually the middle point.
Yes.
That is the central tendency. That is where the mean, median, mode is 0. That is basically Saraswat layer.
Okay.
So this is my statistics and my Ravindic psychotherapy.
Where Saraswat is 0, that means the person whose Saraswat is 0, the Murto, the Rag and the Raga and the Saraswat all are in one line. That is, it is as transparent inside as it is outside. Is the concept so?
Yes, when you think of the Saraswat layer,
yes,
at that time there is no question of Murto, there is no question of Raga. And you have passed through all of them.
Okay.
You have passed through the Murto, you have passed through the Raga, and now you have reached at the Saraswat layer.
Okay.
Okay. But the interesting point is, what Sir has pointed out, that is the focus of attention. The focus of attention simultaneously moves to the other layer also.
Okay.
So what is important, that is sometimes individual wants to move to the Raga layer. And the Raga layer basically the Maya. Sometimes individual wants to follow the Maya.
Acha.
So this is the human personality. this is the human nature. Individual wants to reach at the Maya because Maya has the raga, Maya has a lot of imagination. But when you concentrate on the Saraswat layer, then you can move to another layer, that is the creativity, that is the innovation. So when we are talking about the new education policy, my perception is whenever the individual will feel that is almost all the subjects are same, so the individual will think of the new dimension, that is the creativity, that is the innovation. This is my perception about the future children, future education, etc. This is my perception. In future, we'll move to that particular area where we can develop more novel knowledge. Okay, so we will be able to create more novel knowledge in future, in near future, because new education policy provides us this information, and the students, they are getting the flavors of the different subjects simultaneously. So the students in the Department of Psychology, they are studying not only the psychology, but they are also studying the physics. And physics and psychology, statistics and psychology, education and psychology, they are all the same. There is no difference among them. I don't find anything, at least at this stage. But this stage means I have crossed the Murto layer, I have crossed the Raga layer. Now I am trying to understand the Saraswat layer.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So much true. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, any question? One has written from D to everyone. It is Is there any question? No.
Adhishatri Goswami.
Is there any other observation? Do you have?
স্যার ডক্টর রাজকুমারী বাসু একটা প্রশ্ন করেছেন মনে হয়, চ্যাট বক্সে দেখুন।
কে?
ডক্টর রাজকুমারী বাসু।
হ্যাঁ, তিনি কি বলেছেন?
It is the layer of self-realization in Maslow's theory.
You see, in case of the Maslow's theory, Maslow basically proposed the model that is this triangular, and that is a hierarchical model.
Yes.
Okay. And that is a stage-wise model. And you will find there are some people, they are only engaged in the Saraswat layer. They do not bother about the prestige. They do not bother about the security. They do not bother about the need for food and other things. So there are a lot of people in the Himalayas, you may find. So they are thinking of the self-actualization. So that they are not thinking of the self, but they are basically thinking of the consciousness, the truth, the truth. So this self-actualization is not the final. If you can relate the self-actualization with the Nirvan Tattva of Gautam Buddha, then possibly you can think of the Saraswat. But these layers, they are basically the Murto layer, Rag layer, this prestige, esteem, need for esteem, need for prestige, promotion, etc. They are the Rag layer. Now, there are a lot of the people in India, they don't bother about this esteem. Just you think, whenever I have requested Professor Chando to present his biodata, he has written the person. He has not mentioned anywhere about the esteem level. So he does not bother about the esteem. Esteem is moving behind him.
Thank you so much.
So he does not bother about the esteem. So when we think of the Maslow's need hierarchy model, that is another approach. That is not this approach. So whenever we are thinking of the layer dynamics, consciousness layer dynamics, so this consciousness layer dynamics is not the iceberg as Freud has thought of it. It is the ocean, Mahasamudra. There are a lot of waves. The waves are moving, and we are studying the waves pattern. We are studying the laminar flow. We are studying the turbulent flow. We are studying the buoyant force. We are following the models of Archimedes. So we are following the physics when we are discussing about the consciousness, as well as we are studying the statistics when we are studying the consciousness. So it is not like that Maslow's need hierarchy model.
Sir,
Thank you
good
for the
afternoon.
question.
Good afternoon. I have to discuss this with you and others. Like what I wanted to tell you is that until unless you have that self-actualization and self-realization, that is the point which can match or which can stand beside our consciousness. And that only relates to what sir was saying ki ওই ঘোড়াটা দেখে যেটা বলছিলেন, in Hindi we say जल में कुंभ कुंभ में जल है बाहर भीतर पानी फूटा कुंभ कुंभ जल में समाया यह तक कह गए ज्ञानी. That means we are like a pot and eternal truth is outside us. So this realization only comes when we have that level of consciousness, and when it breaks, then only we can see the truth. So I was trying to relate it in this way, that until and unless your consciousness reaches to that level of realization, self-realization, ki what I am part of the eternal truth. So you cannot reach to that truth or that level of consciousness until unless you have that self-realization or actualization. This is the way I was trying to relate it.
Okay. So that you are talking about the self-realization. So
realization
you are talking about the self-actualization. So my point is like that. So whenever you are able to relate this self-actualization with the Nirvan Tattva, then possibly whatever you are talking just now, that is reflected. And yes, so that is the Nirvan Tattva of Gautam Buddha Dev. And the Saraswat layer is that particular stage. But we are moving from Saraswat to another layers. That happens.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for the good question. I think there is no other question. Okay. So may we conclude now? So now I am requesting our academic assistant Anisha.
স্যার আরেকটা
Yes.
প্রশ্ন এসেছে, অধিষ্ঠাত্রী গোস্বামী করেছে।
হ্যাঁ
অধিষ্ঠাত্রী গোস্বামী আরেকটা প্রশ্ন করেছে।
হ্যাঁ বলো।
ও লিখেছে যে আমরা সচেতন মন দিয়ে সকল সত্য উদ্ঘাটন করে থাকি, তবে আমাদের অবচেতন মন কি মিথ্যে?
সচেতন মন দিয়ে
সকল সত্য উদ্ঘাটন করে থাকি,
হ্যাঁ,
তবে আমাদের অবচেতন মন কি মিথ্যে?
এই জায়গাটায় আমি একটু বোঝাবার চেষ্টা করি। সেটা হচ্ছে, যদি এটা আমাকে প্রশ্ন করা হয়, এটা কি স্যারকে বলা হচ্ছে না আমাকে বলা হচ্ছে?
অধিষ্ঠাত্রী গোস্বামী তুমি আছো?
এটা কাকে বলছে ও?
অধিষ্ঠাত্রী গোস্বামী তুমি আছো? আর ইউ হিয়ার? অধিষ্ঠাত্রী গোস্বামী, অধিষ্ঠাত্রী গোস্বামী, আর ইউ হিয়ার?
আমি যেটা বলবো সেটা হচ্ছে যে অবচেতন মন, এই কনসেপ্টটা আমরা যারা রাবিন্দ্রিক সাইকোথেরাপি নিয়ে কাজ করি, আমরা অবচেতন মনের কথা না বলে আমরা বলি বয়ান্ট ফোর্স। একটা ফোর্স আছে সেটার নামটা তুমি যা ইচ্ছে দাও, অবচেতন বলো কি যা ইচ্ছা তুমি নাম দাও, কিন্তু যেটা আমরা বলি সেটা একটা বয়েন্ট ফোর্স ইজ ট্রুথ। যে কোনো আইডিয়া যখন আমাদের কনসিয়াসনেসে ড্রপ করে তখন সেই আইডিয়াটা একেবারে চলে যায় না, সেটা কিন্তু চেষ্টা করে উপর দিকে উঠে আসতে। সুতরাং বয়েন্ট ফোর্স ইজ এ ট্রুথ। বয়েন্ট ফোর্সটাকে আমি কখনোই বলবো না এটা আনট্রুথ। এটাকে তুমি নাম দিতে পারো অবচেতন মন, আমি ওটাকে অবচেতন ভাবে আমরা এটাকে গ্রহণ করি না। কারণ আমরা যেটা ফলো করি সেটা হচ্ছে যে কনসিয়াসনেস হচ্ছে মহাসমুদ্র। সুতরাং সমুদ্রের তলদেশেও থেকেও একটা ফোর্স আসে, জলের যেমন ফোর্স হয়। সো ইট ইজ এ ন্যাচারাল ফেনোমেনা। সো বয়েন্ট ফোর্স ইজ এ ন্যাচারাল ফেনোমেনা এবং দ্যাট হ্যাপেন্স। তাকে তুমি অবচেতন মন বলতে পারো, সেটা তোমার ভাষায়। কিন্তু আমি এই অবচেতন মন এই ধরনের জিনিসগুলোকে আমাদের রাবীন্দ্রিক সাইকোথেরাপিতে আমরা ইউজ করি না, তার কারণ এটা আমাদের কোনো সাপোর্ট দেয় না। যখন রোগীর ট্রিটমেন্ট করি তখন এই অবচেতন মন ক্যান নট হেল্প আস। আমরা কিন্তু সেটাকে চেষ্টা করি আমাদের কনসিয়াসনেস দিয়েই সেটাকে সলভ করতে। অবচেতন মনটাকে নিয়ে সেইখানে আমরা কাজ করি না, বাট উই আর স্টাডিং দ্য buoyant force inside our consciousness layers. We are studying definitely, and we are studying the effect of the buoyant force on the consciousness.
Sir, hello.
বলো, কে প্রশ্ন করছো? আমাকে প্রশ্ন করছো না স্যার?
হ্যালো
হ্যালো
স্যার। হ্যালো
হ্যালো, কে বলছেন?
স্যার একটা কি এখানে আমি একটা কথা বলতে পারি স্যার? জয়িতা বলছি।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ শিওর।
আপনি যেটা বলছিলেন, হ্যালো
হ্যাঁ শুনতে পাচ্ছি।
হ্যালো
হ্যালো,
হ্যাঁ
ইউ আর
স্যার,
অডিবল।
এই যে অবচেতন, হ্যাঁ যেটা আপনি যেটা এক্ষুনি বলছিলেন, সেখানে জাস্ট আমি একটা কথা কি অ্যাড মানে বলতে পারি, সেটা হচ্ছে আমাদের যখন ওই থেরাপিটা আমরা করি তো আমাদের উই আর কনসেন্ট্রেটিং ইন দ্যাট পয়েন্ট অনলি কি আমরা আমাদের ওই সাবকনশিয়াসে যেটা রয়েছে সেটাকে টু bring forward so that it comes into the consciousness, ওই অবচেতনটাকেই চেতনে এনে যাতে করে সেটা এফেক্টিভ হয়, সেটাই কি আমাদের কাজ নয় থেরাপিতে?
না, সেটা আমরা করি না। রাবীন্দ্রিক সাইকোথেরাপিতে সেটা আমরা ফলো করি না। আমরা ফলো করি,
আচ্ছা,
মেটাফোরকে আমরা ফলো করি। একটা মেটাফোরের মধ্যে ভেসে গিয়ে সেইখান থেকে আমরা ভাসতে ভাসতে আমাদের থেরাপিটা করি। সেই মেটাফোর আমাদের কাছে ইম্পর্টেন্ট। ফর এক্সাম্পল, আলোকেরই ঝর্ণা ধারায় ধুইয়ে দাও, যেটা করে আমি 18 আওয়ার্স ধরে যে মেয়েটি তোমার হাত ধুতো, সে সেটাকে 1 আওয়ারে নামিয়ে দিল। কোনো অবচেতন মনের গল্প তার সাথে আমি কিছু করিনি। Only 2 sessions. We are not talking about any অবচেতন মন, any psychoanalysis, anything.
আচ্ছা,
আমরা শুধু রবীন্দ্রসঙ্গীতকে ইউজ করেছি, যে রবীন্দ্রসঙ্গীত সে নিজেই সিলেক্ট করেছে, এবং সেইখান থেকে আমরা স্টাডি করেছি তার ভিতরে বয়েন্ট ফোর্স কি করে কাজ করছে। সুতরাং আমি অন্তত থেরাপিতে কখনোই অবচেতন মন ইত্যাদি নিয়ে কাজ করিও না, যার ফলে আমাদের মডেলটা ভেরি ইউজফুল ফর দ্য টিচার এডুকেশন, ফর দ্য স্কুল এডুকেশন। ছেলে মেয়েদের পড়াতে গেলে অবচেতন মনে কার কি রয়েছে সেইগুলোকে সংগ্রহ করে টানা হিচড়ে করাচ্ছে। আমার রবীন্দ্রনাথই অনেক ভালো, আমি রবীন্দ্রসঙ্গীত দিয়েই তার মনটাকে চেঞ্জ করে দেবো। আমরা সবাই রাজা, আমাদেরই রাজার রাজত্বে, নইলে মোরা রাজার সানে মিলব কি সত্ত্বে। এই ভাবনাটা যদি আমার মধ্যে থাকে, আমার দরকার কি আছে আমার অবচেতন মনের কি ঘটনা কি হয়েছে হয়নি। এটা হচ্ছে এতদিন ধরে আমি যেটুকু গবেষণা করেছি, যেটুকু বুঝেছি, যার জন্য মানে রাবীন্দ্রিক সাইকোথেরাপি হচ্ছে ব্রিফ থেরাপি, এবং এতে তোমার লেস কস্টলি অলসো। রাবীন্দ্রিক সাইকোথেরাপি হচ্ছে ব্রিফ সাইকোথেরাপি এবং লেস কস্টলি, এবং ইট ইজ ভেরি মাচ ইউনিক ইন নেচার। আর সবচেয়ে যেটা বড় কথা, ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ ইজ নট দ্য বার, কারণ আই হ্যাভ presented Ravindric psychotherapy in Pakistan. I have presented Ravindric psychotherapy lecture in Dubai. I have presented Ravindric psychotherapy in Bangkok, in China. So language is not the bar. The important part is you have to understand the layers of consciousness. You have to understand the flow dynamics in consciousness, just like ocean. You have to study the ocean, Mahasagar, Mahasamudra, and mainly the physics. Physics টা জানবার জন্য কোনো ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ দরকার আছে আমার মনে হয় না।
Thank you, sir.
ওকে স্যার, আপনি আছেন না চলে গেলেন তবে স্যারকে? আচ্ছা, আর মনে হয় কারো প্রশ্ন নেই। অন্বেষা, কারো প্রশ্ন আছে?
না, বোধহয় আর কারো প্রশ্ন নেই। হ্যাঁ, ঠিক
ঠিক আছে স্যার, আপনার কোনো ভিউ আছে এটা নিয়ে আমি যেটা বললাম?
না না না,
এটা ফিজিক্সেরই তত্ত্ব স্যার, বয়েন্ট ফোর্সের গল্প, আর্কিমিডিসের ল, এগুলো তো আমরা পড়েছি ছোটবেলায়, সেই লটাকে এখানে কাজে লাগিয়েছি।
স্যার, আপনি মাঝে মাঝে আপনি নিজেও বলুন, অবশ্য প্রতিদিনই কিছু বলে যাচ্ছেন, আমি বুঝতে পারছি তার থেকে অনেক কিছু। বয়েন্ট ফোর্সের যে কনসেপ্টটা সেটা আপনার ওই লিটারেচারে আমি পড়েছি কিছুটা, এবং খুব সেটা কাজের। এবং সত্যি আমরা যেটা আপনি বললেন যে সাবকনসিয়াস, সেটা একটা মডেল বটে, কিন্তু সেটা নিয়ে কাজ করা খুব ডিফিকাল্ট। তার চাইতে এই মডেলটা কিন্তু অনেক বেশি গ্রহণযোগ্য। এবং আমি এক্ষুনি ভাবছিলাম আমাদের ভারতীয় যে দর্শনের চিন্তাধারায় বোধহয় সাবকনসিয়াসের তেমন রোল নেই, আমি শিওর না, মানে আমার অতটা পড়া নেই।
ঋষি অরবিন্দের তত্ত্বেও কিন্তু সাবকনসিয়াস আনকনসিয়াসের গল্প অরবিন্দ বলেনি, এবং কৃষ্ণের দিক থেকেও শ্রীকৃষ্ণ যে গীতাতে যা বলে গেছেন কোথাও তো আনকনসিয়াসের গল্পও কিছু বলেননি। এবং আমাদের ভারতীয় ভাব, মানে রবি ঠাকুর তো যেটা কাজ করেছেন, আমি জানি রবি ঠাকুর কোথাও আনকনসিয়াসের কথা কিছু বলেছেন কিনা। এবং আমি বিশেষ করে আমার ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে যে আমি কোনো ফিলোসফারের কথাও জানি না, আমি নিজে পেশেন্টের উপরে কাজ করেছি এবং তাদের মানসিক পরিবর্তন ঘটিয়েছি, এবং আমি দেখেছি যে আনকনসিয়াস নিয়ে টানাটানি না করেই ভালো হচ্ছে, যেটা এক্সিস্টেন্সিয়ালিজম যে মডেলটা আছে, যেটা আপনার মাসলোও বলেছে এক্সিস্টেন্সিয়ালিজম মডেল, এবং বান্ডুরা তো তারা তো বলছেনই, সবাই এখন এক্সিস্টেন্সিয়াল মডেলের কথা বলছে। এখন কিন্তু ওই আনকনসিয়াস নিয়ে কেউ টানাটানি করে না।
আচ্ছা, ঠিক।
ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার।
থ্যাংক ইউ
সবাইকে নমস্কার। আমি রিকোয়েস্ট করছি অন্বেষাকে আমাদের প্রেয়ারটা শুরু করতে, কনক্লুডিং প্রেয়ার। অন্বেষা?
হ্যাঁ স্যার,
শুরু করো। প্লিজ ক্লোজ ইউর হ্যান্ডস।
ওম পূর্ণমদ পূর্ণমিদং পূর্ণমুদচ্যতে পূর্ণস্য পূর্ণমাদায় পূর্ণমেবাবশিষ্যতে। ওম শান্তি শান্তি শান্তিঃ। Thank you, sir. Thank you all of the participants. Thank you, Pranab sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for giving time for valuable inputs.
ঠিক আছে।
Hope in near future again we will get you in another.
আমি আছি, ঠিক আছে।
Now we are thinking of the environmental science. So and
স্যার, আমার একটা কথা বলার ছিল, একদিন একটা কোনো লেকচার আরো শুনতে চাই, অসাধারণ লেগেছে আজকে।
আচ্ছা, থ্যাংক ইউ। স্যারের মতন এত বিদগ্ধ পণ্ডিতকে নিয়ে আসতে পেরেছি। আইনস্টাইন আর রবীন্দ্রনাথ নিয়ে এটা ডিবেট, এটা কিন্তু ইন্টারন্যাশনাল ডিবেট। এটা ইন্টারন্যাশনাল ডিবেট, এটা নিয়ে প্রচুর আলোচনা হয়েছে বহু জায়গায়, এবং স্যারকে নিয়ে ওই আনতে পেরেছি, এটা আমাদের একটা বিশাল পাওয়া। আমরা দেখতে চাইছি যে প্রত্যেকটা পার্টিকেলস এর মধ্যে চেতনা রয়েছে, প্রত্যেকটা বস্তুর মধ্যে চেতনা আছে। সুতরাং সেই জায়গাটাকে ধরবার চেষ্টা করেছি, স্যারকে এনেছি, স্যার আমাদের টাইম দিয়েছেন। স্যার এত বিজি পারসন, প্রার্থনা ম্যাম ঠিকই বলেছেন, উনি এত বিজি পারসন, তারপরে উনি টাইম দিয়েছেন আমাদের। ধন্যবাদ স্যার, আপনাকে অসংখ্য।
ঠিক আছে,
তোমরা কি কেউ এবার কেউ আছো একটু কোনো গান গাইবে? আছে আমাদের গানের দল, কেউ আছো গান গাইবে? আলোকের এই ঝর্ণা ধারায় কেউ মনে হয় নেই আজকে।
ঠিক আছে,
আগের
আসি
দিন অনেকে ছিল গানের।
আচ্ছা আসি,
তবে আমি বন্ধ করে দিচ্ছি।
হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে।